I moved into a house in the heart of the capital. Cheap, a fixer-upper, but mine. On my very first day, a random dude had parked his motorcycle in my garage. Weird, right? But that was just the start. Because not long after, I realized someone was stealing something even more precious from me, my water. And when I found out who it was, I didn't scream. I didn't confront. I didn't even open my mouth. I just flipped a switch, and it destroyed his entire life. If you've ever been underestimated, used, or taken for granted, and wish the most perfect karma-drenched revenge, then smash that like button and subscribe. Today's story is not just satisfying, it's straight up legendary. You won't believe how one quiet guy and 3 loyal dogs took down an entire household without breaking a single law. So here's how it started. I live in Asia. A few months ago, I bought a house from some family friends who had been living abroad for years and needed cash fast. Great deal. Middle of the city, but neglected. The kind of house stray cats would hold parties in. No gate, no lock on the door, just a rusted padlock. It looked abandoned because, for years, it basically was. Still, I saw potential. I moved in the same week the sale was finalized. I had a gate installed the very first day because, get this, someone had just casually parked their motorcycle in my garage, like it was public property. I dragged it out to the road. Not my problem. Later that day, this random angry man came banging on my gate like I owed him rent. I didn't even open the door, just watched from the window as he finally gave up and took his bike back. That was the first red flag. At first, the weird neighborhood behavior was manageable. People thought the house was still abandoned. So my gate got blocked a lot. A big NO parking sign took care of that. But something still felt off. Then came that shower. I was in my bathroom, just trying to rinse off a long day of fixing tiles and fighting mosquitoes, when I noticed something strange. The water pressure dropped, just for a moment, but it was enough. At that exact time, I heard the neighbor's water pump kick in. That sound, the mechanical whir, like a heartbeat echoing through the wall. It made me pause. Now this neighbor. Let's talk about him. Older man, lives next door in a 3-story house. He owns the whole building but only occupies the ground floor. The top 2 floors are rented out, according to the friends who sold me the house. He hated the idea of them selling it, said it would ruin the block, whatever that means. They warned me he'd be grumpy, passive-aggressive, but I'm a 6-foot guy with 3 loud, protective dogs. I wasn't worried. Still, the coincidence bugged me. His pump turns on, my pressure drops. And the old guy, he's a retired mechanic. He knows how water systems work. It got my gears turning. I waited until his pump turned off. Then I turned on all my taps. Boom. Full pressure. That was it. I knew something was wrong. This wasn't just coincidence. This was theft. Someone had spliced into my water line while the house was unoccupied. And there was only one person close enough, bold enough, and angry enough to pull it off. But I had no physical proof. I couldn't see where the connection was made. It was subtle, hidden, so I waited. I thought about confronting him, filing a complaint. But you know what? Water is cheap in my country. Like $5 a month, max. It wasn't about the money. It was the principle. This man, who despised the very idea of me living next door, was stealing from me, using my water to fill his tanks, running a household of tenants off my supply, and doing it without shame. It was the entitlement that got me. So I didn't scream. I didn't warn. I waited for Monday. Monday evening. I'm sitting on my porch, sipping tea. His pump turns on. I quietly walk over and shut off my main water valve. Just like that. Now, here's the genius part. When a tank doesn't fill, the pump keeps running. In my country, these systems use a ball valve to detect water levels. No water? Pump stays on. And if the wiring is old, that pump becomes a time bomb. And oh boy, it exploded beautifully. Around 3 a.m., I hear yelling, lights flickering, dogs barking next door. Apparently, the pump had drawn so much power overnight it fried their ancient 90s wiring system, burned out the motor, short-circuited the entire electric panel. No power, no water. Tenants were furious. One of them immediately packed up and moved out by morning. The other called the police to report a lack of essential services. And here's the kicker. Tenant protection laws here are serious. Denying water or power, that's a punishable offense. Doesn't matter if it's a mechanical issue. The landlord is responsible. He was fined $500 on the spot. And trust me, in this economy, that's brutal. Then came the security deposits. He had to return both. He lost his only source of income. Couldn't rent the place again without fixing both the wiring and plumbing, which would cost even more. By Thursday, he was packing boxes. Sunday? Gone. Off to live with his daughter. Humiliated and broke. And me? I'm still sipping tea. But the best part? He came over, knocked on my gate. "Did you turn off your water?" he asked, with the fakest casual tone I've ever heard. I looked him dead in the eye and said, "Oh yeah, I had a leak in the tank. Plumber fixed it the next day." The silence after that? Chef's kiss. He nodded, said, "Oh, okay," walked away. But I could see it in his eyes. He knew I knew, and that I couldn't care less. I didn't yell. I didn't argue. I didn't touch his house. All I did was turn a valve. Sometimes justice doesn't need to be loud. It doesn't have to come with fists or courtrooms. Sometimes the most poetic revenge is the kind that leaves no fingerprints, just silence, and a man watching everything he built fall apart because he thought he could steal what wasn't his. If this story made you fist pump in satisfaction, hit that like button and drop a comment below. What's the smartest revenge you've ever seen? And if you want more stories where karma comes calling with interest, subscribe and stick around. Justice is just getting started.